Hello, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. So, who feels betrayed? Who has a traitor? Doesn't matter if you are a religious person or not. Doesn't matter if you believe in God or not. This is a real issue, like so many other issues that I've discussed most recently on this channel. And it doesn't matter who you are, and it doesn't matter where you live. Someone is being challenged like never before. The idea that this group or this individual told my secrets. The idea that this group or this individual decided to throw me under the bus. I can't believe that my mother, my father, my sister, my brother, my cousin, my grandmother, my grandfather, my aunt, my uncle did this to me. Why did they betray me? Why did they tell that lie? Why did they go out here in mainstream media, interview with some individuals, and tell these individuals that I said that I did? Many children of darkness are going through this right now. It's a season of betrayal. That's what season they're in. That's what season they're in. They're not in a season where it's a whole lot of feeling good in the hood. No, they're in this season where there's betrayal. Back in the day, what happened to just shaking a man's hand and your word was your bond? Oh, please, that's long been gone. Matter of fact, that's how many people became stars. There was some he say, she say, and whatever else they say going on. And so you are handsomely rewarded for saying that and for doing that and for exposing that and for snitching on this one and that one. It's been going on for a long time, and some people are just realizing this. Now, people are adding names. Names that make money. Names that move the algorithm. Telling your brother's secrets? Breaking the sisterhood, sister code, sister, all things sister. Setting people back. Setting the establishment back. Setting the movement back. Airing out all the dirty laundry for people those peasants. Look at them. Fighting over those little trinkets that we threw out there. You see? The traitors are among some of you all. The wife of how many years? Betrayed me, but look at how many years you betrayed her. Some of you all very disappointed in your children, going back and telling extended family members, they're not even in the inner circle. We don't even talk to them. And you went over there and you told her that? Do you know what she could do with that? Meanwhile, not everything is important. I told some people a long time ago, you really think that everything that goes on in this family is so sacred and so important that I need to put up an audio or create a book on? Absolutely not. The good stuff, the juicy stuff has already been covered. Not all the details put out there because God wouldn't allow me to put all the details. But if he told me to put some names and put some locations and put a whole lot, I'd be willing. Because that's just how serious I am about the truth. But God never did. So we talk in generalizations. But I tell you what. Those, though, who they did have names associated and those who did end up giving specific details, and those who had no rhyme or reason to really be putting information out there other than the fact that you feel jaded or that you're trying to make your money because some people behind you are pulling your strings, puppet. Guess what? There's a sacrifice. Stay with me. That word gets thrown around during certain seasons. Various movies and books will have one of those of sacrifice to let you know what is ahead. Some of you all, you put 2 and 2 together, and 2 and 2 isn't 6 and 8 and whatever you want it to be. You know 2 and 2 is 4. And you know that you don't like what is being put out here. You have paid good money to keep certain people from saying certain things. It's called reputation management for the person who know I'm not a superstar, but I am concerned about my business and what they're saying about my business. You got to hire some people to manage your reputation. Wow, it's a lot that we need to cover today. We're going to start, though, with scriptures. Always a healthy, functional place. One that shines the light on the darkness. Don't run from the light. Welcome it. Receive it. Accept it for what it is. And stop being the one that is just so limited in your concept of who God is and who God uses to deliver a truth that hits you right between your 2 eyes. Some folks call it the third eye. Some of us, we know that little section that the minister takes his 3 fingers and smacks you in the head, trying to either pray for you or cast out demons or both. It's time to awaken, open up. And we're not talking about that foolishness that has been convoluted, mixed up, got all sorts of people thinking all sorts of things. That type of woke movement. This is a spiritual awakening, one that's going to get someone away from the traitor, or to expose the traitor if you don't know who that is yet. One who is going to have the boldness to tell everybody about the betrayal. Your husband betrayed you. I see this person in the spiritual realm. And you've been dealing with this for a long time. Hey, we all got our share of partners. Some folks, they're legally married. Others, they're not legally married. Others, they got about 2, 3, 4 partners. Lord Jesus. And folks are just doing things that are out of pocket. Psalm 41:9, even my close friend, someone I trusted, one who shared my bread, has turned against me. Many a song, many a movie about this. I trusted you. I built my business with you. I had a baby for you. Somebody says, I took a bullet for you. I gave up my freedom for you. I did everything you wanted me to do, including the most nastiest things that I couldn't even tell my mama, my father. And then you do this. Oh, these are real truths. You do this. You go behind my back and you do this. Or you do someone. The Lord spoke to me. He said, not only are we born into this adulterous nation, because this piggybacks off of the message, because I know some people was really just, are you getting into the cheating? Are you getting into the cheating? Because I know you're talking about the unfaithfulness of man and woman toward the one true God, but I need you to touch on the cheating, because there's some folks that's out there cheating, or they're being cheated on. So you found something. You heard something. And now you want to do something. But the Lord is holding you back. Oh, child of God. Now the child of darkness, she done already waged war. She done already got her croonies and everybody else. But the child of light is supposed to wait on the Lord. That is the command. If I find out some information about my mother, father, sister, brother, cousin, aunt, uncle, grandmother, grandfather, where they told a lie on me, my children, I'm going to wait on the Lord, because I like how the Lord deals with people. I've seen it. Yeah, I'm allowed to be angry about it. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I'm still waiting on the Lord. And I like how the Lord moves, because see, just when your enemy thinks that something's going to come to them just after they said something or did something, my God, we can be sitting back waiting for years. It's all good. I'm a patient one. Oh yes, I'm a patient one. And you don't have to be that one that's up in that man's face, because you see, you can also end up picking up your face off the floor when you mess with the wrong one. So it would make sense to sit back and just wait on the Lord. Some of you all, you saw your life play out when you watched The Color Purple. Sure, it was back in the day, and that's the way men and women dealt with each other back in the day. But back in the day is modern day. That's why they brought that movie back around. You got some females that want some attention so bad because their daddy didn't give them any. So they sit up there and they will allow a man to push them, shove them, spit on them, tell them, go sleep with this one, go sleep with that one if you're my ride or die. And they do all of this crazy. So a movie like that comes back around and say, sweetheart, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You don't need to be sleeping around like Suge for some attention. Suge's issue was she needed to be back with her daddy. She needed to get that thing resolved with her daddy. And those men couldn't do that for her. The biggest issue with old silly there was the fact that so the world calls you this and calls you that. You've got to have the type of self-esteem that no matter what the world thinks about me, I am still woman. And we saw where she started to grow those wings and fly. These old messages, when they come back around, it's because people are in trouble. When these old messages come back around, it's because somebody or some group has lost their way. Many a man, many a woman have betrayed one another in marriage. We saw that man sitting up there. He in love with that woman. Even had Celie, or to the point where, or Celie, to the point where she was, I love her too. Wow, she is something to look at. Wow. You see? The things that some of you all will do because I just want to be accepted, because I want to be liked, until you realize that it's not worth all this. I got to betray my sister, my brother, my cousin, myself in order to be in this circle. I got to do what? I got to be like a Judas? How much? That's what some people do. How much? Hey, there's a character in every movie. I'll be the Judas. Besides, I mean, Judas's life, what he did, people learn from it. Yes, but you don't need to be one too. You don't need to carry that out too. Some of you all, you couldn't believe it when you heard the news, when you found out what was in the closet, what was under the bed, what was on the computer, what was on the phone. You couldn't believe it. What was in the car, under the seat, in the car door. what you found out when you followed that person because you just had that feeling on the inside that he's not going where he say he's going. She's not going where she claims. I got a feeling. I remember my grandmother used to say this sort of thing. I got a feeling my son ain't doing right. I got a feeling. She used to tell my mother, and I was just listening. And she say, well, you know, when you get those feelings, you be right. I'm going to pray for him. But I know something is wrong. And she'd get a phone call. Or he would come, that son or sons, whoever was the one who was up to no good, doing something in the hood. Next thing you know, she was right. God has showed her in the spiritual realm. You don't argue with the truth. You embrace it. You welcome it. You don't run from the light. That light is there to heal you, broken soul, broken one. I can't believe she lied on me. I can't believe that he had the audacity to go over there and tell so-and-so, I'm about to knock him out. Oh, I could see this person in the spiritual realm. See, I tell you all, there's these things, if you will, that come over me, and I can see the wilding out. I can see sometimes it's so messy that I can't even speak it because it would offend all of you all. But this is the type of hurt that some individuals who come through here go through. And it isn't clean and pretty. And it isn't all dressed up for Sunday service or for Wednesday Bible study. These are gritty people. These are mean-spirited people. These are people that we trying to keep, once again, from putting somebody 6 feet deep in their grave. We're trying to keep some people from losing their freedom for the next 10, 15, 20 plus years. Just like I pray for you, I ask you to pray for me. Hallelujah. Glory be to the one true God. A lot of things happen on a pretty day, but there's a lot of idleness and scheming and planning on a cloudy one. I told individuals on an old audio, from the White House to your house, betrayal, traitors, people on the campaign trail, people who tour with musicians, people who are a part of projects, shady actors and actresses, biting the hand that feeds them. I tell you what, there's some sadness, some deep, deep sadness when you see in the coming years what's going to happen. Because see, code hasn't gone anywhere. Oaths haven't gone anywhere. There are still people who uplift oaths, uplift codes, uplift their sisters and brothers. They enforce the rules. That's what some people signed up for. I didn't sign up for all of that, but I'm speaking for those who have. And when there is a sister or brother who feels wronged, or a wife or a husband who feels betrayed, or a son or a daughter whose mother or father did them dirty, there is a God that I know who says, vengeance is mine. I will repay, says the Lord. He doesn't want you to move, because when you move, you don't move in silence, oh mouthy, sassy one. He doesn't want you to move right now. He's waiting for you. He's waiting for you to get your plan in order. And that plan for some of you all costs a lot of money. And for some folks, they need to lawyer up. I don't know why they sitting up here talking about people betraying them and they're a traitor and all that. Where's your money for the lawyer then? If you feel like you so in the right, where's your money for the lawyer? How come you haven't made those appointments? How come you didn't get your case established yet? When you challenge a person's innocence, watch what they do. Watch what they do. No, don't listen to all the words that they speak. Let's watch what they do. You're innocent. Absolutely. Okay, I want to see how he moves. Don't say anything. Just watch him. She swears up and down that she never said, never did. Okay, let's sit back and let's watch how she moves. What you got to hide, huh? What's your secrets? That man don't love you. That's the secret. For so many women, I see it in the spiritual realm. That man don't love you. We know that. I mean, hey, we know that a lot of times it's just not in. It's not in a man to love. It's in a man to protect. It's in a man to pay for some things. You know, be a good provider. But for some men, it's not in them to love, because they know not the kind of love that God has, because he's not with God. You see, when a man is with God, you know that you know. But when that man starts straying, where the love at? I'm still trying to figure out where the love at. You see? So we have a number of people who have been betrayed. We have a number of people that, just as God feels the unfaithfulness of men and women, as I said, in the Born into an Adulterous Nation audio, so too is his offspring, God's children, those who call out, Abba, Father. An unfaithful husband, an unfaithful circle, an unfaithful, and you fill in the blank. Even my close friend, someone I trusted, one who shared my bread, has turned against me. Some folks shared their man. Some folks shared their woman. Some folks shared they. Some folks shared whoever, whatever. But the point is that what did the person do? They turned. After they got what they got, they turned. What does that mean? They backstabbed. They lied. They put some information out there. Or they went on and they took. But I told you to borrow. But they went on and they took. They stole. You didn't pay for that. Didn't I tell you bring that back? What have I done for you to turn against me? Proverbs 26:25. When he speaks graciously, do not believe him. Oh, listen to that eloquent celebrity. Listen to the response. After all of the truth came out, listen to the response. Oh, wasn't it so gracious? Yes, it was. Oh, he said something like he wasn't going to stoop to their level and haters going to hate, That's not much of a response. Oh, yeah, it is. It is, because he's hurt. He's wounded. His brother turned against him. You see? When he speaks graciously, right, the minister, when he speaks graciously, the teacher, when he speaks graciously, the husband, I'm using he's for examples. When the CEO, when the king, when the prince, when the president speaks graciously, what does my Bible say? Even though we know the truth, my Bible says, do not believe him. Why do you keep believing these men? Because they speak graciously? Why do you keep believing these women? Because they look good? Because they smell good? Because they pay some money and built up some things in the hood? We're not to believe these people. I mean, I could write a really good speech. Somebody hit me up, I'll write you a real good speech. But at the end of the day, though, are you honest? If I, create this speech for you and you read it and it's a gracious speech, will the public believe you? Or will they be able to find some evidence and proof and go, unbelievable? There are 7 abominations in his heart. 7? Yes. But he spoke gracious. Once again, I need you to stop with thinking about how nice he sounded and you accepted his reasons. I need you to stop thinking that way. And he looks good too. And he won all these awards. I need you to stop thinking that way. That's the deception. We're not to believe him. But why? Why can't we believe him? Do you believe a pimp? Do you believe a player? Do you believe a hustler? Do you believe a gambler? Do you believe an oppressor? Do you believe a kidnapper? Do you believe a cult leader who has spiritually blinded his flock? Do you believe any of those people? All right. So if you don't believe any of those people, why? Why is it that you wouldn't believe any of those people? And some folks will say, well, because they power trip, they're egoists, narcissistic, they tell lies, they're manipulators. Okay, so then I need you to redirect all of that and put that on the celebrity who there's enough evidence and proof to show. There's enough victims out there to show. Even when the family says, yeah, he was always the weird one. Even when the folks over there in the hood, yeah, I knew him back in the day, man. I was wondering why y'all even believed him, man, because he was straight up pimping on these streets. Lord Jesus. 7 abominations. What are those? What are those 7 abominations? And see, I'm one who, let's look at the fruit, right? I look in the mirror, I look at the fruit, I go out here, I pay attention to myself, look at the fruit, look at the fruit. You should be doing the same thing about yourself. And then you go and you start looking around at that one who's the traitor, the one who betrayed you. Because these are signs. These are clear signs. And if they have all 7, you got yourself somebody who's a traitor. Someone who it's only a matter of time that you'll find out what they betrayed you on. Because some folks don't know. They're just really, really green right now. They have no idea. I don't know. I mean, I feel like this is a warning. I feel like there's something in the pit of my stomach, in my heart. I think Nicole's talking to me right now, but I don't know who she's talking about. Because every season, there's somebody who screws up, who messes over, who does something, and you don't know yet, but you're about to find out. So, we're going to pay attention to these signs. And we're going to smoke this person out. And I don't mean that type of smoke. Because right away, oh my God, no, not that. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like back in the day when there were insects all around. And they got that little can. It looked like smoke coming out. I used to tell my grandma, what are you doing? She would be pumping this can. And she said, I'm smoking them out. And I'm like, what was she smoking? Oh. And next thing you know, you saw these roaches, these tiny little roaches flying, and they would end up dying. But yeah. And then sometimes in movies, right, they throw some tear gas in and they smoke the people out. They start running out, you see. And sometimes there's fire involved and various destructions. And so, yeah, that's the way you can get a whole lot out of a community, out of a building. But anyway, we're going to find out, though, more about this traitor. We're going to pay attention to signs leading up to the betrayal. We're going to, for those that I don't know who is going to betray me, but I am curious about this sort of thing and what I should be looking out for. Okay, so the 7 abominations are going to reveal some things. Number 1, do you see a proud look? That type of person who's a bit conceited, gets around individuals, right? Hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. Yeah, look what I'm doing for my wife. Look what I'm doing for my husband. Look, right? Okay, giving examples, right? There's a bit of arrogance that comes from these individuals. You might just be dating somebody, just met them at one of those family holiday events or something. And I like him, but, he's a bit arrogant. Or I like her, but there's something about her. She's just so haughty. Okay. That's number one. This person, do they tend to act a bit prideful when they do things? Doesn't matter what it is, but they just tend to be consistently prideful about some things. Okay. Number two, mind you, we're using these 7 abominations to find out some things about the traitor. Okay. In case you missed it, I'm just reiterating. A lying tongue. I did catch him in quite a few white lies over the years. Yep. Every time I turn around, he seemed like he's always got a lie coming out of his mouth. I'll ask him, did he do this? Did he do that? He's like, oh yeah, I did this, I did that. It's straight up lies, just lies. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So you got some dishonesty going on there. Yep. Some deceitfulness. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Number 3. Hands that shed innocent blood. Oh, right away somebody says, oh, nope. Well, stop. Because there were quite a few people that I didn't know that they shed any innocent blood, but there were little secrets that were floating around in the family. These people are gone. They're in their grave, but there were these secrets floating around saying that, yeah, well, they were doing some real messy things back in the day. Oh. So number 3 did apply. So hands that shed innocent blood. Somebody who has a history of taking some folks out, or a person out. But either way, though, they could do it, not flinch, right? Not worry, still come over, shake your hand, bring you some flowers, tell you how much they love you and everything else. And I mean, these were just innocent folk, right? At least that's what we hope, that there was some innocence to the relatives that had nothing to do with this, right? And then we found out, no, there was no innocence. They were guilty, but the guilty had done some things to the innocent. Oh, man, it was definitely sad to hear. But this was a sign, see? This was a sign early on. How about this one? Abomination number 4, a heart that devises wicked schemes. There was a lot of that laughing and joking and saying how things were not what they were, such as, oh no, that's not evil, but it's evil, but they're laughing about it. And they're coming up with their share of plans to hurt somebody. Okay. Even if it was on your behalf or somebody else's behalf that you really liked, the point is that the fact that you can think like that, you see. Ooh. Now, we also know, too, using the abominations as signs that we got a traitor among us. So just because they did all that dirt over there doesn't mean that sooner or later they're not coming back around and doing it to you. So you're in a circle and you're laughing and you're thinking that everybody got your back or whatever because we cool. This is the brotherhood, the sisterhood. Everything is all good. Only to find out, though, that no, once you start paying closer attention to these abominations, you recognize that this person has these character traits and that they are susceptible of betraying you. That's what we're getting to. Number 5. Feet that are quick to rush into evil. Oh, girl, where you at? Yeah, let's go head on. Let's take care of that. He doing what? No worries, girl. We're going to handle it. Now, if she can jump to conclusions and be ready to go all upset somebody's head, right? Sooner or later, you going to say something and do something. And she's not going to like it. And rather than be a woman and sit down and have that conversation with you, guess what she going to do? She gonna act like that with somebody else towards you. Yeah, let me go over here because I got to work. See, I can't believe she said that and did that. See, I'm gonna have to hurt her. But the other day you were ready to defend her. Yeah, but see, this is the thing. I don't like what she said, but she was only speaking truth. Doesn't matter. I'm coming over there. I'm gonna knock her upside her head. See, her and her dude. Okay, I hear all sorts of strange little voices and stuff when it comes to the foolishness in the spiritual realm. No, you need to not trust that woman. You saw her time and time again acting like that. It's only a matter of time that she's going to act that way with you. Lord Jesus. See, the people who are the most dangerous are the ones who's always talking about what they're going to do to somebody else. I was around all of that. And I was like, this is making me feel bad. My stomach is hurting. I'm constantly anxious. I'm worried about somebody jumping on somebody jumping on me. I shouldn't live like this. I mean, but I'm a little kid, right? I can't. One time I remember I got myself this like little scarf. I wrapped it on a long stick and I started walking because I was really concerned that my mother was going to jump on me. And I was a small child, maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6. And I went and I got this like little, because I seen it on a cartoon, and I went and I got myself this little scarf, and I put some stuff in it, few toys or whatever, and I tied it on this long stick and I started walking. Okay. And I realized after walking through a neighbor's yard and up the little grassy hill that, are you running away? Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea. And then I started thinking, okay, if I run away, then who's going to feed me? And what kind of, I'm going to need some water and everything else. Now, why would a child feel like that? Because when you've seen and heard so much among adults, and you see that adults can't be trusted, you want to run away from that. You want to run away from it. So for some of you all, when you talk about packing boxes and bins and you wanting to get away and I'm just going to pack my car up and I'm going to go somewhere, I understand all of that. There is something that gets triggered. It gets turned on because you gave so much to a relationship, to an organization, to a workplace or what have you. And you know that you are not the one at fault. And the nerve of them. After all I did. But somebody who's quick to rush into evil, wants to commit a wrongdoing, cannot be trusted. Number 6, a false witness who pours out lies. Now you see that she or he told all those lies to cover for that person. You shouldn't be the one so quick to commend them on all of their lies that they told. Understand that just like they did that to those people, they'll do it to you. You mean to tell me they would tell lies on me? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's in them. It's in them. Especially when you got formal training in this sort of thing. They turn it on, they turn it off. When am I supposed to turn it on? Right now. Okay, so here comes the lies. You see? But I thought that was your brother or sister. There's a lot of money at stake, and no way. I'm not going to tell the truth about it. Yeah. Because of oaths, sisterhoods and brotherhoods. Because of what parents told them. Because of what grandparents told them. You see? So if they're willing to do that sort of thing, once again, you got to mark that person and be guarded. And then, of course, a person who stirs up conflict in the community. Why are you starting with these people? Why are you out there doing all of this? So, all of these things, these 7 abominations, are sitting on a traitor. Whether he is international or national, whether she is from the hood or not from the hood, whether he is a part of that company or not a part of that company. They're carrying these things. The signs are there. And it's only a matter of time that they're going to betray you. Somebody needs to give a engagement ring back. That man's going to give you a whole lot of grief. Somebody else needs to sit some children down and explain to them that their behaviors are unacceptable because they look a lot like this. Yes, children can be just like that. Have the proud look, have the lying tongue. They can shed innocent blood. Kids can devise all sorts of wicked schemes. Yes, their feet are quick to rush into evil. Yes, children can be a false witness and pour out a bunch of lies. That's what adults know. That's why they put kids up to doing some stuff. And a child can stir up a whole bunch of conflict in the community. And so I look at that child and I go, that child is going to betray that parent. Give them the right amount of money. Give them the right amount of snacks and treats. And the next thing you know, they're going to say everything. You see? I know you don't want to think that way, some of you all. But there is these people who are traitors. And this is why for some of you all, when you hear there is this sacrifice, if you will, that has taken place, because 9 times out of 10, that person betrayed someone or the establishment. And I know for some people, they're like, well, I didn't sign up for anything like that. Well, if you didn't sign up for it, that's fine, but somebody else did. You see. Oh, we got some stories of betrayal. Delilah and Samson. Check that out. Judges 16. Right there in the Bible. Delilah's betrayal of Samson for silver. Another one. About that money. Nothing new under the sun. Judas, right? Luke 22 and 48. He betrayed the Son of Man. You see. We also got Joseph's brothers. I've often referenced them. Genesis 37. I mean, your brothers. Your brothers. I mean, I was there for them. Some folks say, I was there for the baptism. I was there for when the woman walked out and he ended up marrying another woman. I was there when he was broke, busted, and disgusted. And he did this. Real issues. But God, though, somebody says, but God, why? I mean, you covered me after all these years. And God, you did all these wonderful things for me. I feel like you betrayed me. Uh-oh, we're going there. The Lord will give you so many signs, visions, wonders, everything to show you before something goes down. The problem is man, woman, child, beast, they, doesn't matter, is so distracted by so many different things that they don't see the writing on the wall. Judas shows up and they don't see Judas sitting at the table. Judas shows up to take over as the new manager, new supervisor, whatever, and they don't see. They don't see. So many people get played by traitors, by jealous people, by people who carry the 7 abominations. See, as long as you allow certain things to happen, oh, manager, leader, oh, I'm going there, minister, what have you, as long as you let things happen over there, it was all good with you. But then you thought you could keep that traitor in a box, because that's just what that person is. When they've done all that dirt to other people, but somehow still remain loyal to you up to a certain extent, you allowed it. You never called them out on any of it because it was of benefit. And now you expect to keep that person in a box. You expect to keep that child, that husband, or whoever else. They showed you who they are when they did what they did to auntie, to uncle, to cousin, to their own husband, to their sister, to their brother, what have you. And you think they're going to stay loyal to you. You got to be kidding yourself. She did a lot of dirt for me. Yep, she did. And that's why sooner or later, she's going to do a lot of the dirt to you too. But see, people don't want to hear this kind of truth. I talk this way to my own children. Listen, you can sit up there and you can believe all you want to believe. These people, these new people who come into the family or whatever. But at the end of the day, we got some snakes. We got some shady folk. And that's why I tell you to be guarded. Give them a little time. They're going to show themselves. And sure enough, every time. You get that person who's in your ear, like this one. This is Ahithopel. Ahithophel advises Absalom to attack David immediately. But Hushai, David's loyal friend, counters this advice with a suggestion to gather all Israel for a massive attack. This is in 2 Samuel 17. Absalom follows Hushai's advice in verse 1 or verses 1 through 14. Now, here is an advisor who gives wrong advice. And I'll just tell you the ending real quick. He ends up killing himself, okay, or taking himself out or unaliving himself, however you want to say it. That's what he does, okay, because he realized that he did something that, yeah, your advice, it didn't work, and they're going to come after you. They're going to come after you. And this is why some individuals, when you hear, especially in various industries, when you hear some things about this one has unalived his or herself, sometimes that person actually did, and other times, let's just say some things are questionable. But they know, oh my goodness, yeah, you messed up. You messed up. Whatever little plot scheme that you thought you got in with someone to kind of help a situation along, or you guys were going to get XYZ money out of it, or you wanted to pay somebody back and you did something, and the next thing you know, it didn't work out like that person, your crony or whoever told you. And now guess what? You got to do something because they coming after you. You see? That's for the shady one. That's for the child of darkness who every now and again comes through and no, you're not into God, but you understand good old fashioned common sense and wisdom. You don't mess around in that bed. In that bed of lies and deceits. But nothing. I got her on lock. She know not to cross me. She already know what this is. I can hear a man saying all that. You put her up doing all that dirt, all that shady stuff. What makes you think that she's not going to turn on you? You'd be better off that once somebody do something dirty, if you're going to be that type of person, you'd be better off to let that person go. Just let them go. Thank you for your service. Don't keep them close. Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Don't keep them close. If they already showed you everything that we went over, okay, and somebody needs to play this message back, okay, they showed you all of the 7 abominations, Proverbs 6:16 through 19, and you mean to tell me you're going to keep them in your circle? Jesus, help us all. Even my own children, I'm like this. If I see there's this season of all these 7 things showing up with them, they're not even permitted to stay close to me in terms of getting any type of information. They don't have access to anything. We got some issues here, don't we? No. We got some issues here. You go ahead on and do what you need to do. You can't even stay here in my presence. And some of you, all you got to do your children like that because of all of the dirt that they've done over the years. Bringing all sorts of foolishness to your doorstep. You got to do a husband or a wife. Oh, so I see all 7 of these signs have showed up. You're arrogant lately. You're dishonest. Rumor has it that you did this evil and that evil. You're out here giving false testimonies. You're causing all sorts of strife. Yeah, I think we need to separate. or we might even have to get a divorce. Is somebody ready to do that? Is somebody ready to protect one's household, protect one's job, protect assets, protect a system you have in place, whatever business ventures, whatever you have to do, without, though, doing any of these 7 things, though? That is the question. I got to protect mine. Okay. Can you do it without being prideful? Can you do it without telling lies? Can you do it without shedding innocent blood? Can you do it without devising wicked schemes? Can you do it without rushing into evil? Can you do it without getting a bunch of false witnesses to tell lies? Can you do it without stirring up conflict in the community? Yep. Run down the checklist. Ask the Lord to give you the guidance. Ask the Lord to show you people who have been able to deal with traitors and their betrayal in a way that is healthy and functional. Ask the Lord. There's experts who know how to deal, depending on what the situation is. Okay? So, if it is somebody that is in the entertainment industry, for instance, that's why they have PR people, right? That's why they have people who know how to deal with situations as they arise. So, something to think about, something to pray about. I'm sure that some of you all, there's some names and faces and some other things that have come up. Pray, ask the Lord. What's the next steps? Some of you others, while you were listening to this, you probably started digging into drawers and cabinets and any number of things, because you know what? Yeah, it's been about a minute and I don't need any problems coming to my doorstep. So I think I'm going to get ahead of the problem. I hear you. I thank you as always for taking time out to listen. You've been listening to YouTube NM Enterprise 7. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment. We do welcome giving on the channel, and thanks in advance. Blessings to you.